Good morning, everyone. This morning we are going to cover a medical subject titled Premortem, Postmortem. All of you must have heard about postmortem, but very few of us have heard about premortem. Today we are going to cover the elaboration of both the conditions, both the procedures, and what it means and why these two procedures have been carried out. Pre-mortem is carried out before the patient dies. Post-mortem is performed on the corpse of the patient after the death. Both things were actually elaborated by Dr. Van Duran. Van Duran has actually elaborated pre-mortem and post-mortem. Pre-mortem and the post-mortem both are aimed at aimed at the health or the reason of the death or the reason of the malady, why the patient is so sick, what are the reasons of afflictions, where the afflictions was caught by the patient, and what would be patient's prognosis and diagnosis and prognosis. Doctors are going to find out that in diagnosis what patient is suffering from, and the doctors are actually tell the patient what would be his prognosis, means how long he's going to live, what would be the condition, he would revive or not, he will rejuvenate and return to the normalcy or not. Every single thing is actually detected by performing pre-mortem procedure. Post-mortem procedure is actually conducted to make sure that the patient did not die of any kind of hanky-panky or any kind of illegal means, like he was not murdered or he was not beaten up or he was not given poison or he was not ignored, or a senior citizen probably he was incapacitated and a family member did not provide him life sustaining or life supporting system, or he was not fed, whatever the reason. If the death is natural or unnatural, death is vitro or in vitro, doctor always try to find out in post-mortem. Mortem means death, post means after, pre means before, mortem is death. Pre-mortem and post-mortem means before death and after death. I have chosen 5 points to elaborate this procedure, which is very vague in the minds of the most of the people. They don't know why the postmortem is carried out and what is the pre-mortem. Point number 1 is pre-mortem is aimed at how to prolong life. Doctors actually perform all kinds of tests, all kinds of things, all kinds of scan, and all kinds of MIR and this and that, and all kinds of things the doctor perform to find out exact crush of malady, core of the malady, root of the malady, what is the grassroot of the malady the person is suffering from. So as we were saying that pre-mortem is performed in order to find out that how to control malady from its spread, how to detect what are the reasons of malady and what kind of medicine to prescribe. If doctor finds out proper medicine by proper diagnosis then and then, we are going to revive, we are going to recover, otherwise recovery would be absolutely far cry. First and foremost thing doctor has to find out the absolutely positively correct diagnose. Point number 2 is pre-mortem detects pathology. Pre-mortem is performed, this procedure is performed in order to find out where the patient got this malady and how far that malady has spread in the system of the patient, and how we can control it, how we can eliminate it, what kind of medicine should be prescribed, whether it should be clinical or surgical. The team of the doctors are going to check all the records. All the experts and expertise will be robbed to find out exact the reason of the malady. It is no superfluous thing. Like you go to the get pass doctor like MBBS, who is just going to prescribe medicine within 2 minutes, just putting his stethoscope on our back or front and prescribe whatever the medicine comes first in his mind that is not diagnosed. Diagnose means running Premortem test in entirety. Then doctor will be able to detect what kind of malady, what kind of affliction, what kind of virus, what kind of parasite the body has been hosting, and accordingly precise medicine, pinpoint medicine must be prescribed in order to get the remedies working and the maladies expelled out of the body. Point number 3 is pre-mortem props, the causation of malady. Pre-mortem is aimed at finding out precisely finding out what actually has caused that malady, what are the root causes of the malady or root cause of malady, what kind of parasite, what kind of pathogen, what kind of bacteria, what kind of virus has actually penetrated into the bloodstream of the patient. After detecting that with absolute positivity, then doctors are going to prescribe absolutely precise pinpointing medication, and that pinpoint medication is going to work in order to eliminate what kind of parasite or pathogen or virus has penetrated into our blood system. So that is a pre-mortem is performed, or pre-mortem is conducted to be absolutely positively sure that the doctor is not going to prescribe any kind of wrong medicine that is not efficacious on that particular symptoms or particular malady. Point number 4 is post-mortem probes the suspicious causation of sudden death. Say, for example, one person is walking around and talking and laughing on the road. You have seen him yesterday, and today you get the news, God forbid, that person is passed away. Now, if that person passed away in a sudden death, you will also flip. You will also wonder, and you will also baffle that what would have happened to him. Now, we are ordinary common folks, and still we baffle ourselves what would have happened to that person, because that person was walking and talking yesterday, eating and drinking yesterday, and all of a sudden this morning he is gone. So now we are not a doctor, and still we are not doctor, and still we have this kind of suspicion in our mind. Think about doctor. So as soon as the doctor finds out, the doctor is going to take the body for the post-mortem to find out that there's no any kind of hanky-panky, any kind of irregularities, any kind of conspiracy theory in the death of that person. That person is not strangulated. That person is not choked up. That person is not choked on the food. That person is not given poison, or that person is not beaten up, and his soft organs are not damaged. Anything can happen for property, for the age, for the geriatric, for Parkinson, Alzheimer. This kind of maladies can make senior citizen absolutely vegetative, and sometimes his children and grandchildren are tired of him, or sometimes property. For property, they want to get rid of him. They always wish that if he's gone, then we can have his property gobbled up. So doctors are going to make sure that this person's death is not actually the causation or consequence of any kind of malpractice, mispractice, non-practice, any kind of conspiracy, or any kind of fraud, or murder, or poisoning the person. And if any of those reasons are there, or any of those reasons is there, then doctor is going to actually inform the police, and police is going to conduct all kinds of necessary investigation and inquiries, and that person is going to get justice. Otherwise, if doctors allow them to bury him or cremate him, that person will go into his grave without justice. Point number 5 is postmortem aims at ruling out hanky-panky in the causation of death. Most of the time, forensic laboratories actually perform this kind of post-mortem and they try to find out, going into nitty-gritty in his soft organs, in his body, in his heart, in his liver, in his kidney, and they try to find out that those soft organs were not damaged by poison or by any kind of beating or any kind of other conspiracy or any kind of causation of death precipitated by anyone around him. Meaning it was not murder by poison or murder by beating up or murder by battering or murder by strangulation or murder by any other source or any other reason. If they don't find any kind of hanky-panky, any kind of reason that the person was murdered, he did not die, but he was murdered, he was killed, he was assassinated, then inquiry will set in motion, interrogation will set in motion, police will be involved, and everybody in the family and all his enemies, all those people who had threatened him in the past would be arrested, and investigation will be conducted, and the perpetrator, the person who has committed the crime, will be detected, and the corpse, the dead body, the person who has been killed will be given justice. So this is the reason of post-mortem, and that is the reason of premortem, in which, in premortem, doctor always tries strenuously to save life. In post-mortem, forensic laboratory strives strenuously to give the dead body justice that he deserves or she deserves. And in this way, criminal activity from the society can be averted, can be minimized, can be eliminated and obliterated. Thank you very much for listening. That's all the time we have today. Tomorrow again we're going to meet and discuss about something else. Until then, God bless everyone on this planet. Bye.